Oh, fantastic. So here's what's going to happen, guys. I think we've still got the recording going. I'm going to go ahead and get us started. I've got a timer on my computer because as promised with these STLP quick shots, we want to make sure that we are in and out 20 minutes or less. And I want to make sure that we can stick to that. So let's go ahead and I'm going to share my screen one more time. And real conveniently, this is that STLP 101 for new coaches. Today's quick shot is going to be all about just an overview of what STLP is about, some things you can get involved in, and some options that will help you get launched at your school. If we haven't had a chance to meet yet, my name's Jeff Sobalski. I have just the greatest job in Kentucky because I get to help lead the Student Technology Leadership Program for the state of Kentucky. We'll get to see each other hopefully at several events over the course of the year. You'll definitely be getting some emails from me because you will have completed that Get Recognized form, which will make sure that you get all the communications that we send out about STLP. Of course, what is STLP? It's the Student Technology Leadership Program. Really, if we back up, it's really just about learning opportunities for students to use education technology to demonstrate what they know, how they've learned it, create new things, take advantage of technology to really just enhance the learning that's probably already happening in the classrooms, but use STLP as a platform to shine a bright light on your students. And we do that through several different opportunities that we're going to dive into. A little bit of background, STLP has been around since 1994. We're in lots of schools as of last year. We have tens of thousands of students who participate in our activities. So that's 60,000 plus students that you see there are just the students who are participating in competitions and out of school activities with STLP. We know that that number is a lot higher because a lot of folks use the STLP resources in their classroom, and they don't ever actually enter any competitions, which is perfectly fine. The idea of STLP is the competitions are kind of smoke and mirrors for learning. It's a fun way to recognize the students and what they're doing and to get them out of the building and involved in some things, but not necessary. All the resources that we're going to talk about today are free for anyone to use inside, outside of Kentucky. But being established in 1994, we're looking at a big year this coming up with our 30th anniversary, lots of fun stuff. So if you're brand new to STLP, you have picked a great time to come on board because we're going to have lots of new fun activities that we're going to use to celebrate our 30th anniversary. My challenge to you would be, give me another education initiative that people love and has stuck around for 30 years in the state of Kentucky. There's not a lot out there. So that says a lot about what STLP is, how STLP has been agile enough to make sure that it's vital and useful and necessary in the classroom and that it's helpful to students. A lot of great things could be said about STLP and our history. That's a whole other session. Another reason that STLP is stuck around for this long is because we have really tied all of the categories, everything we do, to classroom foundation. Specifically, any activity that you participate in STLP with, you are implementing the graduation requirement of the Kentucky Academic Standards for Technology. So if you're not aware of that, there is a set of academic standards for technology that students are required to be versed in. It is a graduation requirement. A lot of folks think, I don't know where to start with these technology standards, and STLP is a great place to do it because you know that if you are participating in STLP, you're hitting those standards. And the really cool thing is that in many of our activities, the students leverage the standards as part of the scoring rubric. So they know the standards. And there's also, and that's a whole other first for STLP. I bet you couldn't have students at the end of the year rattle off aspects of any other academic standard in the state of Kentucky, but because we use these standards so tightly with our competitions, the kids have to explain in many instances how they are innovative designers, how they are creative communicators, empowered learners. So that's a really neat twist and a little extra bonus for STLP to make sure that it is always right on that front and center line with the technology. Our big 4 events. So we'll focus on this. There's lots of stuff going on with STLP. If you've spent any time looking at the website or perusing the STLP Supersheet, which we'll get to, and I'll give you some highlights on that, you'll recognize that really we have 4 big categories, 4 big opportunities for your students to enter competitions with things that they love or do or make. And these are what we'll focus on just real briefly. Then we'll wrap around to some of the other opportunities. Those big 4 include doing the year-long projects, which is a great process. We talk about products. Those are our creative digital art categories. Challenges occur at state where students come and demonstrate the skills they have. And then they can also participate as members of the service team core. We have lots of different categories. We'll talk about each one of those a little bit more specifically, one-on-one. Projects, for example, let's start there, because this is something that if you're going to get into STLP competitions, projects are right now something that you're going to want to start turning your focus towards. Because it is a year-round activity, now is the time to get students thinking and get their juices flowing about some ideas that they might have for a technology-rich project that will help their school, their community, their classroom, or demonstrate a technology that they have learned, developed, or even invented. So the whole idea behind projects is this project cycle. And where we're at right now through mid-November, it is level I. This is the pitch level. And that pitch level is where students are brainstorming and they're throwing out the ideas of what the project can be, what they want to accomplish, before participating December 6th in a live online presentation of the progress they're making on their project. Essentially, here's our plan, here's what we're working on. It doesn't have to be a completed project by any means by December 6th. It's just an opportunity for them to get on live with some judges from all over the state who will give them some feedback after they share the idea behind their project and a little bit of where they're at with it at that moment. Very cool. The idea from level 1 there at the regional level is to convince the judges that you should advance on to level 2 to the state semifinal round at the STLP State Championship. STLP State Championship is amazing, and we're going to take a focus on that in just a couple seconds, but it's at Rupp Arena on March 27th. It's a 2-part. If you make it to level 2, then you present in the morning, and hopefully you advance on to level 3 in the early afternoon, where you're really promoting your project to judges and trying to convince them that the project they've come up with is state championship worthy. And if they are selected as one of our state champions as either the best technical project, the best 9 through 12 category, the best 6 through 8 division, or the best K through 5 division state champions, then we're going to send you to Denver, Colorado in June to present your project at an international international technology conference where folks come up from all over the world to see what Kentucky is doing with students in technology. So these are this is an overview. The project cycle, we provide you with lots of resources, including a project toolkit that we're about to publish. And if you are really interested in diving into projects, I think now's the time. Get the kids excited. This is a big thing. This is one of the things when people think about STLP, they think about this project cycle and participating in the projects throughout the year. It's a great way to get kids involved. It really leans on the concept of project-based learning and will demonstrate for you how STLP has been the forefront of deeper learning for 30 years before we started talking about deeper learning and PBL and project-based learning. We'll take another quick shot and deeper dives into that project toolkit at a later quick shot. So this is just an overview to know that really this is a great way for K through 12 to get students involved in STLP because it's really a passion project. It's an opportunity for them to seize on something that they are interested in. This is student choice, student voice, and then use the resources that we provide with your guidance to help mentor them through the process. As the STLP coach, what your big moments here will be the registration times. We have some deadlines. I think November 17th is the first deadline to submit which projects are going to be at the December 6th regionals. But again, when we get and take a look at the project cycle and the project toolkit with a little bit more in-depth, that'll make a little bit more sense to you, but great thing to keep your eye on. The other of the big four is the digital products through what we're calling the creative digital arts category. And if you maybe have been following us on social media, then
Hey Jeff.
documentary, digital art, digital illustrations, digital music. And the beauty behind the creative digital arts category is that you actually don't have to leave school to participate. This is something where you could take advantage of students, all the stuff that they're already making, all the things that they're already doing. They probably have some passion for creating and making these digital products in the first place. And then as the STLP coach, this is the cool part where you just kind of get to curate that and pull those together and help them submit to the online competition. And they could be state champions recognized at the state championship in March and never even have left the building. Lots of great opportunities there, lots of great places to check those things out. Our third big four category are the challenges. Now, live at the STLP State Championship in Lexington in March, there are all these competitions, robotics-based, photography-based. There's some different things happening, multiple things where the kids don't have to pre-qualify. They just sign up and bring their skill set, and then they do these live challenges at state. There's a live coding challenge where they show up, it's BYOD, they come into a room and they're faced with the challenge of, we need you to code some lines that will create this product happen. There's also a web design challenge, and so it's timed. They just essentially bring their device, they bring their skills, they produce, and the judges select who the state champions will be. Challenges are a great way to get involved. And then, of course, I mentioned the service categories. If you have students that are not into the competition, but they really love to help, we have things like our STLP engineer ambassadors, our creative media team, our KY Go Play team. All of these students come to the state championship. They apply, they have a quick interview process, they get selected, and then we invite them to come to the state championship, and they are helping us run the show behind the scenes. Those service teams are really the backbone of the state championship, and we could not do it without the student leadership. Service teams are truly the L in STLP. So great opportunities for kids that maybe they're not into competition. We still recognize them. They still get a trophy. They get to go up on stage. It's a really great experience. And for a lot of kids, it is a wonderful gateway into other parts of STLP, and particularly for our STLP engineer ambassadors, for our high school students who do that. We have a lot of folks who that has helped them choose some career choices based on those opportunities. So between projects, creative digital art products, challenges, and services, those are the four big competition areas that your students might get interested in. And these are the things that as the STLP coach, you'll be helping to make sure they get registered to participate and attend. So that is a big part of what we'll see you doing as the coach in these areas, and then often connecting them with the resources that are on STLP website and the Supersheet. All of this comes together at the state championship, and that state championship is March 27th in Lexington at the Central Bank Center in Rupp Arena. It is, last year we had about 20,000 folks come together to celebrate students using technology from all over the state. And even if your students aren't competing or on a service team, the day is packed with activities that they can come and explore and be inspired to get involved in things for the next year. So now is the time to start planning for that participation at the STLP State Championship. It's free to attend, of course, just like everything else we do with STLP, totally free to everyone in K-12 in Kentucky. But it is something you need to start planning for now. So this is the big part here. If you haven't found some of these resources, we've been talking about resources and all the things you have available. There are tons of resources, all completely, utterly free and ready for you to use in your classroom with your STLP group after school. Even if you don't use it with STLP, some of the things that we have available to you are super applicable in your classroom in many different ways. And if you never participate in an STLP event, great. We are just happy to have you taking advantage of the resources. And some of those resources are things that you can jump into today. So you're going to want to take some time, and the STLP website, which I think I have pulled up right here, the STLP website is full of information for you, resources, and take a quick look always at the news and updates page. We actually have a page right here. The news and updates page, everything that we announce, we get listed here on the news page. And we actually, just this year, if you think you maybe have missed an email or you thought you signed up for something but you didn't get any information, you'll be able to come to the news page and jump back and look at archive messages that we sent out through the listserv or through the Get Recognized page. And if you can't find it in your inbox, boom, it's right there. Jump in and take advantage of that. The STLP Supersheet, I can't let this time go by without talking about that. The Supersheet, let me pull it up here for you, is everything you need in a one-stop shop. I'll even back this up a little bit so you can see a little bit more. Is everything STLP related with links to every rubric, every resource, every file that we have at your disposal. This is where you'll be able to find links to go and register for events before deadlines. You'll be able to check out all the important dates for the year, and it comes with a handy description that is student friendly and ready for them to check out. A lot of folks like to spend time, particularly when we start talking about the creative digital arts categories. You can see there's a lot of them. A lot of STLPs will actually have their students come and explore the Supersheet as a group activity and pull up the different rubrics and take a look at what it means. You'll also be able to go back and look at last year's champions. So if you're not sure what digital art animation category looks like, you'll be able to link back and look at last year's exemplars. Today, you could jump into the level up badges as well. If you're looking for something to do with your STLP group or with your STLP students, the STLP level up program is simply a great way to jump out, and there are hundreds of badges that your students can earn, different things that they can achieve, different things that they can use to demonstrate as a roadmap to get them through some of the competition areas. You can go and claim a badge right now because you might be a first-year STLP. What people like to do with these badges is, number one, they're all self-reported. There's no special system to demonstrate that you earned the badge. It's all in the honor system. And a lot of folks like to, it's kind of fun. We don't promote a lot of printing, but a lot of folks like to print out their badge that they've earned and put it up on a bulletin board and let the whole school know what cool things your STLP is involved in. And fun things that you're doing. I will also give you one last thing about the STLP badges, is that you might want to jump out. And if you like to do an email signature, here's some cool little badges that you can use in your email signature that you might be a proud STLP coach, you might be a digital learning coach, you might also be a library media specialist. Grab the badge, enjoy it, have fun with it. So we're just about out of time. I'm wrapping it up right at the 20-minute mark. I love this. This is great. My name again, Jeff Sobalski. If you have any questions or things come into your mind, please reach out to us at stlp@education.ky.gov. We will answer your email just as quickly as we can, but also all of our social media pages we also use to help get out information about STLP. And also later on, once we have some competitions under our belt, we like to also celebrate the students through the social media pages. So by all means, jump out there and follow those social medias. And then, of course, we have some more quick shots coming up. Hopefully, you'll have some things that maybe spark some interest. I know the Project Cycle Toolkit is a big thing on our plate. We had on Tuesday an overview of the new creative digital arts categories, but we archived that on our YouTube channel. So if you didn't get to join us on Tuesday, that session and today's session will also show up on that YouTube page, and you'll be able to watch along at your own speed. If you are here and you want to grab a hold of this this presentation, by all means, the QR code, and there's the bit.ly right there, and you can pull down this Canva Pres, and you can have all the links to all the resources that we have mentioned. All right, well, if there's not any other questions, if anything pops up, obviously, shoot us an email down the road and we'll take care of it for you. Thanks for taking some time with us today. We appreciate your time and your energy for all the students in Kentucky and all the students in your school that are doing STLP. Everybody have a great day. And if you're on fall break, enjoy the last couple of days. Thank you. Bye-bye.